Well, why don't we, here, let me, let you register. Thank you so much. Well, shall we go ahead and just get started? Welcome everyone to the Charlotte Tableau user group. I'm William Aubrey. My colleague here, Rashid Manat, Israel Curiel, we're your hosts for this evening. So thanks for joining us. I think it's the first week of school, right? Back for the parents this week. So I think we usually have about 60, 70 people register. I think we have 33 people tonight. So I think everybody's just paying attention to their whatever else is going on. I don't know how you could put Tableau below anything. But we always just try to keep a real informal, discussion. So, feel free to always ask questions and have a good dialogue going. Tonight we've got three really great things. I think Israel's going to share with us some sizing, some tips on sizing dashboards. There's a lot of new features with that, a lot of new capabilities, so Israel's going to teach us some stuff. And then Rashid has volunteered to do a live dashboard building demonstration. So this is going to be, that's always very exciting.
The live stuff is always.
The live stuff is always, there's nothing can go wrong when it's live, right?
Nah.
So,
no pressure.
And then
It's gonna work too.
We're going to wrap up. I'm going to offer some ideas about sort of a trend that I've experienced over the years with productivity when it comes to different types of tools. And we'll talk a little bit more about that and how there's a wider variety of tools available for a person who considers themselves like a business analyst, data analyst. You don't have to be a hardcore programmer anymore to get your hands on really powerful tools to do your data work. So with that, obvious housekeeping. Was there anything about housekeeping we need to talk about?
Is anyone going to conference this year?
So
We should all think of,
Yeah,
do
we definitely should.
we can send out an email or something for like a meetup or something like that.
And they sent out an email about their schedule, so
Okay.
take a look at that.
All right. With that, Israel, thank you so much.
All right. So before we get started, let's see a show of hands. I want to see the experience in the room. How many users here have used Tableau for less than a year? Okay. How about 1 to 5 years? Okay. Okay. How about over 5 years? Okay. Cool. So the reason I picked this my presentation today is because what we have seen in our presentations is that some of the most advanced concepts that we'll present in these meetings, we'll just go over a lot of people's heads. It's a lot of newer people that will come to the meetings, and it seems that the audience is typically into, I guess, more general concepts. And when William was asking for presentations for this meeting, it happened that I was teaching some of my teammates how to do sizing of windows. And I'm assuming that everyone uses dashboards. Can I see a show of hands of anybody if you publish dashboards to the server? Okay, cool. So in our group, we try to stick with a very uniform format. And we started with a template, and Wells Fargo actually handed out we have a group that manages the EICC Tableau server, and they sent out these Tableau templates. And when you looked at the tiles or the containers, it was really complicated. And what happens is if you drop something, you accidentally delete something, it's really hard to get it back to the original state. So something that happened in our group is this is the look that we use across all of our templates. And in this particular situation, someone had accidentally deleted our little red line across the top. So they thought, okay, well, that's easy enough. Let me go ahead and put something back. So they went and put a vertical and just dropped it here. Oh, see, and I put it in the wrong place. 1 second. When they drop it here, let me see. Let me get it to the right place. Okay, now I did put it in the right place. So what happened here is my teammate could not get the pop-up that says edit the height or edit the width. Now, I'm curious, how many people, when they're doing their dashboards, how many people actually go to item hierarchy to look at the layout of their dashboards? See, and this is a more experienced, it seems like this is a more experienced group. But at least in my area and the people that I work with, nobody goes to the item hierarchy. It's pretty much just drag and drop, and you try to size your dashboards to the appropriate size. Well, what a lot of users didn't realize is if you have a parent object that is a tile object, you can't fix width or fix height a child in that area. So let's say if I pick this container, there's no edit height or set height or set width because this is a child object of a tile container. But if I go to the child of a vertical, you can edit the width. Has anybody ever noticed that? Okay. So this to us was really important. We want to try to maintain, it's really important that we keep the same look and feel. Obviously, Wells Fargo is very big on our branding. We have to use the same color, the same size, the same image. And here are templates. We all wanted to keep our templates the exact same size. So now, I can edit height. And before we had this object set at, I believe it was 5 pixels. The other thing that most people, or at least my area, didn't know is you can set the background of any container. And that's how we do the little, somebody called it the little magic red line because nobody could figure out how to do it. The BIC, or the Tableau support team sent us out this template and nobody ever modified it. We just dragged and dropped to all the right places. Now I want to go through the exercise of building a dashboard, and I'm going to color it so that you can kind of see. This is the layout that we like to use. This is primarily 1, 2, 3 container areas. So I'm going to create a new dashboard here.
Hey, can I ask, are you using TIG 4?
I am using 10.3. Let's take a look. Let's see. 2018. There you go. 2018. All right, so if we hadn't had the original template, this is how I would go about creating our initial layout here. So by laying out, the first thing I did is I dropped a horizontal, and next I'm going to drop a vertical. And I'm going to give these colors. Just anything to kind of distinguish it.
But that looks like
Okay, it's slightly different. All right, this is where we typically start off with, because all of our templates, we create dashboards that are highly interactive. There's always drill throughs. There's always time frames. There's in our work, we have to split data out by lines of business. So our filters are always on the right-hand side, and we want to keep it uniform. So of the 1,500 customers that we have using them, they can go to one of 50 dashboards, and there's the same look and feel. There's the same navigation. So this is the initial layout. So we have here a vertical and the parent, select a parent container, is a type. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add another one. Another vertical. Let's see here, edit height. This one I can say is, let's say 200. Okay, cool. So now I have an area for my, as a matter of fact, that might be a little too big. Let's make it 100. So now you see I have an area for a header. I'm going to say Wells Fargo. Oh, here's another little tip. Does everybody know that you can add your font, your own custom fonts for your company. You can add your own color palettes. Has anyone had a custom color palette added to their system? Okay, so that's something that's really common. At Wells Fargo, we use that heavily. And we have pre-identified our Wells Fargo color. So we have a Wells Fargo title here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. All right. Okay, cool. And then we have an image. There we go. And size, fit image. And I want to set the parent for both of these, select layout container. That's another little thing that I had to teach several of my team members, that they can select layout container parent to modify multiple objects at the same time. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, cool. Now we kind of have a header. We have a navigation area. Let me unhide a couple objects here. Oh, you know what? I guess I should have started with explaining this dashboard. So in my area, we have a small team of 7 developers, and we're frequently trying to find out, okay, who's got the most bandwidth, right? So we keep track of our task in SharePoint, and what I do is I do a PowerShell script that pulls the data down from SharePoint, sends it to SAS, or SAS Grid, do some XML parsing, and then take that data back to Teradata so that it shows up here. But by doing this, we can look at different time frames. We can look at tasks that are in progress, new, or waiting for someone else. We can filter for individual users, and this chart kind of gives us an ability to click on individual tasks by user, and obviously this chart will show you where there might be the most bandwidth. Jeff Gu is my manager, but some of these other my teammates have more bandwidth in the next couple of weeks, August and September. So this is what the purpose of this dashboard is. So let me go to here, and I need to unhide these. Okay. All right, so from here, typically this is how everyone does their dashboards, right? Oh, let's see, I have an extra container here. But now, we have a really nice header section, the main body, and the navigation. A second ago, I was showing, I wanted to add a little magic red line here. So I'm going to go here, go layout, add my color. That's a little big. And edit height. And I'm going to set it to 5. And voila. Take off the color again. Now, see, that's not where the color is. Select parent. Select parent. There's where the color is. So, I wanted to go through this exercise because for the newer users, a lot of people will just drag and drop their sheets and never really look at the exact placement of it. For us, it's really important to maintain uniformity because the user always wants to have the same experience. We have like 30 or 40 dashboards in our area, and they get really complicated. But if the user comes into a dashboard and it's a very similar layout, the navigation is there. They always know that they typically have 2 or 3 charts on the same dashboard. They know how to navigate around it. So it's just a real simple thing. I just want to make sure that everyone was aware that's, I think, a more entry-level skill. But I wish some of my other teammates knew about this long ago, because we struggled with getting everything the right size. Getting everything uniform.
Why do you use? Why don't you use floating?
We have 1,500 customers. Everyone has a different layout. When we go and publish it to our Tableau server, everyone gets something slightly different. It doesn't look good. So we try to stick with the tiled view only, so to maintain a little uniformity.
How did you get both of them to combine into one header?
So I have to start out with a layout container. So for instance, let me show here. So here I currently have the title box selected. Select layout containers, how I get to the parent container. And typically this is where I would set the height. So to your point, we have frequently images that we want to resize to about the same size as those. As a matter of fact, we can resize this a little bit smaller. Select layout container. Let's say I wanted to match